Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Patricia Amador. I am your Student Government Association Vice President. Thank you all for joining us this evening. North Central Texas College understands that these times of uncertainty have not been easy, so they have provided this opportunity for us. NCTC representatives on the live stream are available to answer any questions or concerns about preparing for the fall 2020 semester. You may submit your questions via chat or you can email them to studentlife@nctc.edu while we are live. Before we introduce everyone and begin our questions, I'd like to ask the Chancellor, Dr. Wallace, if he'd like to say a few words.
And everyone on the call knows it's hard for me just to say a few words. No, I appreciate everyone being here. I love these venues. It's been really a joy to be a part of these Q&As over the last few months. And last semester we had several, and they're very effective. I have to once again say thank you to Patricia for her work. She is like an expert now on interviewing and asking questions, so we know who to turn to when we need that. So again, thank you to you for your leadership in these as a student and representing the students. We're looking forward to starting the spring semester. Yes, it's been a very challenging fall, and we're already seeing some pretty hard times in our society and in our culture right now, but we want you to rest assured as students, we are here for you. You are our primary importance. We appreciate you, and we know that it is very difficult to do the work you do. And so we're here to answer as many questions. You've got a great team of people here that have all the answers, and if they don't, we'll find them. So I appreciate so much your being and joining us, and we look forward to a spring semester that is going to be good for you and all of your family and friends. Thanks so much. Thank you again, Patricia.
Anytime. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallace. On the live stream today, we have Dr. Shirley Furge, Division Chair, Daisy Garcia, Director of Student Engagement, Diane Rother, Dean of Libraries, Daphne Riddle, Director of Career Services and QEP, Denise Kaysen, Vice Chancellor of Information Technology, Jessica DeRoche, Senior Director of Flower Mound and FSB Exchange, Jennifer Beal, Senior Director of Admissions and Recruitment, Mary Martinson, Dean of Student Success, Math and Kinesiology, Melinda Carroll, Vice Chancellor of Enrollment Management and Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, Nicole Shaw, Chief of Police, Dr. Roxanne Del Rio, Dean of Students and Outreach, Ski Sullivan, Senior Director of Marketing and Public Relations, Sarah Flushy, a Dean of Instruction, and Tracy Flanagan, Senior Director of NCTC Counseling and Advising Services. I'll begin by reading the questions that came in through our email and a few select questions from the app that may have already been answered, but feel it would be good for students to know. If you have any questions during the live stream, you can still email them to studentlife@nctc.edu. First question of the night is, does anyone know if the LVN program will be back face-to-face when we go back for the spring semester?
So I can try to take that. I know Dean Flushy and Dean Martinson are on the line on instructional side, but let me just give you insight. That is a challenging question because we don't know already today, to be very open with you. We received word from several of our hospitals that they're going to suspend clinicals even with those that are involved currently because hospitals are full. And so we're struggling to know what the answer is going to be to that. And so hopefully the answer is yes. The plan was yes. But please stay in contact for the LVN program with Ms. Teresa Borden. You can email her and she can make sure to keep you informed in that department on those current programs. But our struggle isn't so much what we'd like to do, it's that we are having trouble with clinical sites because of the increased hospitalization rate where we serve in clinicals. And I happened to get that word just today. So
Thank you so much, Dr. Wallace. The next question I have is, Has integrated reading and writing been moved to online for the spring semester?
I can take that one since I've been in contact with those division chairs about making some schedule changes. So it's important to keep track of your schedule in my.nctc and any communications you get from NCTC, just because there are some courses where the in-person enrollment has been pretty low, which is understandable. Not all students want to be back on campus, or because their lives are in flux with jobs or family, or their kids are doing, remote learning, and they're having to be at home and be a parent and be an employer and employee and be a student, and they're having to balance all of that. So they're wanting as much flexibility as possible with online or synchronous online. So some classes have moved from in-person to online, but you can check your schedule and check your NCTC email for any communication about schedule changes. The important thing to remember is, even if your class has moved online and you were really looking forward to some form of in-person instruction, your instructors are going to have a lot of interactive things incorporated into their class, a lot of engagement, lectures that they're going to be recording, or even live online lectures that are synchronous, where you can log in and you're going to be participating in a live classroom discussion, virtually. So don't think you're going to miss out on any interaction with your instructor or the way that the content is delivered. They are still going to be supportive. They're still going to be there for you, and you're still going to get that level of interaction with your class and with your instructor, regardless of the format. And that kind of goes with the health sciences and technical areas too. Depending on what hospitals are allowing, our health sciences students to do, or like with our welding or drafting students with space limitations, they're going to make sure that you are getting the content and the training you need in the best, safest way possible. And anything that you're missing out on it's going to be made up one way or the other. So you're going to be able to get your hands-on instruction as soon as possible in the format that you need to get it to be able to complete the course and complete your program.
And the key to your success is constant communication. If you have questions, contact your instructors. And anytime you have a question, and they will respond back to you. So just don't sit there and just assume somebody else will ask the question. Go ahead and ask them. Email, do it in your chat, in your classes, just any way you can.
Thank you so much for your responses. The next question I have is, can we use financial aid to purchase books?
If you have been awarded financial aid and it has paid for your classes and you have leftover money, they have transferred the money to where you can use your financial aid to purchase books through our bookstore. So you would just go online and you can select the books that you want. And at the end, when it says payment, you can do an extra payment by third party, and then it's clicked on financial aid, and that will allow you to use the financial aid. If you have any issues, you can email financial aid at finaid@nctc.edu.
Thank you so much for that answer. The next question I have is, why does the NCTC Bookstore Clothing for men and women only go to 3XL? Is there a way to get a shirt size that is larger than that from the bookstore?
The answer is yes. There's two options you have for that. Number one, you can do a lot of the ordering online, and you can choose or select your own sizes or shirt color combinations, etc. Also, you can ask the bookstore to do a special order for you in their sizes. So absolutely, we can try to do that. Now, I think a lot of the online only goes up to 3XL, but yet there are some options also for some other avenues we can help you with through Lands End and some other things that have our logos, and we can help you if that's a problem. Just reach out to maybe one of our staffers, and we'll help you find a way to get that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. The next question is, well, it's not really a question, it's more of a comment. The last time that we spoke, there was a mention about providing students with telehealth. Ms. Flanagan, can you let us know what services will be included, as well as a little bit more information about LionCare?
Yes, to all of those comments and questions. So LionCare is a new service we're going to be providing our students. It is telehealth, so it is an app that our students will be able to have access to, where you could have a virtual appointment with a medical health professional. There's a 20, and those are 24/7. And then we also have Talk Now, which is being able to talk to a mental health professional 24/7. And that's not necessarily a counseling appointment. It's really like, I need to talk to somebody. I don't really know what I need. I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed. I'm worried. I'm anxious. You know, I just need to talk to somebody about everything that's going on and figure out my next steps. And you can get referred to a counselor, where again, that would be a telehealth, a virtual appointment with a licensed counselor. Or they could refer you to some local providers, maybe for food pantry or financial assistance, you know, resources that are in our local area to get you connected. There's also wellness coaching. So just trying to figure out how to take care of yourself, you know, nutrition wise, physical, you know, health. It's hard to remember all the ways that you need to balance that wellness wheel, and to make sure you're taking care of all the facets of your life when things are kind of upside down and topsy-turvy. So that's another part of LionCare and the telehealth services. So if you're feeling like you have to choose between your education and your health, you do not, because being a student in NCTC means that we are here to help you holistically and to take care of you as a person, not just a student. You have to take care of your basic needs. Student. So if, you know, we have some students that are maybe working because they're trying to work because they need insurance or they need access to healthcare, and they're foregoing getting their education or training because they're trying to just take care of their basic needs. Being a student at NCTC means we can help you, you know, take care of those needs and balance all the other parts of your life, you know, with being a student here and being successful. We don't want you to give up on your education and training and your career goals because you're just trying to take care of you. We want you to have access to those services, and that's a big part of why we're offering that.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited for this to fully launch. I know when I was in psychology club, that was a lot of people's concerns, is having that. I do want to remind everybody that's watching that you can email your questions at studentlife@nctc.edu, and we'll gladly answer them during the live stream. Ms. DeRoche, can you tell us how we go about getting access to the garage at the FSB Exchange?
Yeah, so we've here at the FSB Exchange, which is the Denton campus, we have a parking garage. And so what we noticed is students don't always know how to access the garage, where they get a permit. So if you go to the NCTC website, at the very bottom, it will say campus parking. If you go there, then you'll get navigated to getting a permit. And so any current student who doesn't have a parking permit, or any new student that needs a parking permit, I would do this soon. So then you're able to access that garage the first week of classes. And so that way you can park. The parking in Denton is pretty limited as far as on the street parking. And also a reminder, if you do park on the street, at least on the Hickory side of the building, you would have to back into park. And some people are not stellar at that. So unless you have a backup camera, then you're really good. So definitely look into knowing where to park, where the parking garage is. So if you haven't been to the FSB Exchange, definitely come by the campus, see where the parking garage is right across the street on the Mulberg side. Definitely get a parking permit. That will give you access into the garage to come and go as you please. So that's not just during your classes, that if you want to come down and eat one evening or meet some friends down here, you have a place to park. And so we want you to utilize that this semester. And just, if your friends don't know about a parking pass, please tell them as well. So.
And you should have also gotten an email when you are accepted that has directions specifically for how to get your parking permit. And if you don't have that email, or you can't find that email, or it went to junk mail, contact our enrollment guides, and we will be glad to walk you through it over the phone, through a Zoom meeting, in person, whatever.
Yeah, and our police officers on campuses can walk students through that the first week as well. Or if you come to campus next week, we'll walk you through that to make sure you know how to do it as well.
Are the back doors to the FSB campus still locked? Like, do we still have the one access point?
Yes, our campus, the only way to access the FSB Exchange is through the Hickory side. So that's 316 East Hickory. And we have a big sign in the window that says enter here. So there's 2 sets of doors. So make sure you're going to the right door. All the other doors are locked. You are able to exit through the other doors, but you can only enter through that one set of doors.
Okay. Sounds good. The next question I have is, if my classes are all online, how do I join the class? Is there a specific site or URL I should be looking for, or are these classes in Zoom?
As Ms. Beal just said, you're going to receive an email when you register, and that will have a temporary password. And I think you set up a password for your one login. And under one login, you will have the option to click Canvas. And Canvas is your LMS for your courses. Even if you do not have online, you still have a course option there for your face-to-face courses, where they might upload supplements to your class, maybe videos or study guides or something to that nature. But your information will be there when you click into Canvas. Your courses will populate there. Most of your courses will have some type of announcement. You may also receive an email that talks about your classes will be live first thing Monday morning or Tuesday morning, I'm sorry. So just kind of pay attention to your email. But again, go back to that original email if you have not, and you will set up your login for one login.
Tracy, I saw your question and said, what is an LMS? The LMS is the Learning Management System.
Just making sure students know when we're talking about Canvas and we say it's an LMS, what it is.
I didn't know what that was.
Type it in, but for some reason it wouldn't let me. But it's the Learning Management System.
Which means
Platform
that's
for
the
online
program that
classes.
houses your courses.
Right. It's your online platform for where
Oh.
your courses will be.
Okay. I didn't know what that was either, so thank you. The next question I have is, when will refund checks start being dispersed for 2021?
So I'll take that one because Dr. Miller is not able to be with us this evening. The goal, usually it's around February the 12th is what we're looking at for the first disbursements. That's about the time period we get into the semester. We will make sure to really publicize that as we sometime early next week, so students begin to really know those dates. But that is, if I look at the calendar correctly, and it looks like it's probably going to be around the 12th of February. And that's about all the knowledge I have about financial aid at all. Very complicated.
But that means that some people will get their disbursement back February 12th, right? Not everybody. Because I feel like I see that question all the time on the NCTC app, and like people being angry about not getting their stuff on time. So it's just like,
there's a
yeah.
lot of nuances to federal financial aid. And the thing is, if you're in doubt, use the app, text, email your financial aid advisor. Just ask the question, because I even had questions today from a couple of students about their federal work study programs and how we pay and those things. So if you the best thing for you to do is to email your financial aid advisor, use the app, and just say, hey, can you give me a way to know what mine looks like? Because there are a lot of different differentiations between each student.
Awesome. Thank you for clearing that up. What does graduation look like for students who complete in the fall?
I'll take that. This is Melinda Carroll, and for those that completed in the fall and those that are completing in spring and summer 2021, we are planning a graduation ceremony for you. Tentatively set right now at the University of North Texas Coliseum. However, we will, since that is tentatively set for May 14th, if that changes, then we will definitely have a ceremony potentially on the Gainesville campus for you, but we will have a ceremony for you to celebrate your accomplishments for those that graduated in the fall. And even those that would like to walk who graduated in spring of 2020 and summer of 2020, you may also contact our graduation coordinator, Michelle Huggins, and she will definitely add you to that ceremony. We'll have a graduation program for those that completed in the fall, with your name in it for that spring graduation. So we're going to celebrate our students' accomplishments for the academic year in May. But we will for sure have a ceremony where you will be able to physically walk across the stage, either at UNT or on our NCTC Gainesville campus.
Oh, I love that. That makes me excited, especially for the people that missed out on it when COVID first hit. The next question is, what precautions are being taken for in-person classes?
So I don't mind taking that. I think our chief of police is having a little bit of a technology issue, and then our emergency management staff weren't able to be here. The same protocols you experienced in the fall are still in place for the spring, folks. It really boils down to cleaning after every classroom. We're making sure bathrooms are cleaned on the hours. We're trying to make sure that distancing is still followed. Mask policy is still in place. I have to say thank you to students this last semester. We had no problems. Everybody was a team player. Everybody was willing to wear those masks. That's got to continue and will. So it's going to feel much like it did in the fall until we get the vaccines out, until we start seeing a much reduced amount of cases in our counties. Protocols are going to feel quite the same as they did for you in the fall.
Will NCTC be doing anything to provide students with the vaccine, or is that just something that students have to figure out on themselves?
That's a really, really good question. At this point, there's not enough vaccines for us to make them available. So, for example, just on the Gainesville campus, just Cook County only received 100 vaccines. There's 30,000 people that live in Cook County. All of those are going first and foremost to healthcare workers on the front line, EMT, fire. And so, Patricia, as we're sitting right now, we don't have the ability to offer a vaccine to students because there's just not enough of them. As that vaccine's produced and mass numbers come out, we will certainly try to give you opportunities or let you know where you can get a vaccine, partner with those, but we just don't have the ability as an institution to offer those at this point.
And that's where a student could connect with a medical professional through LionCare, through telehealth, because if they feel like maybe they're in a high risk category, I mean, it is hard to decipher to know when you're eligible to get the vaccine, when, you know, who has them, when they're available, if you're considered in a top tier category to be able to get them based on maybe age or health conditions or pre-existing conditions. So I think that would be a great use of connecting with a medical professional through either your own PCP or through LionCare to find out, you know, if you qualify to be in the next round and where to access the vaccine. So talking to a medical professional through, you know, your own insurance or through LionCare, so that way you know what options are most readily available and what you qualify for.
And I'd add this one thing too, Tracy, and I'm glad you brought that up. There are several clinics within each of the areas too that are offering our wait lists for certain disabilities, certain pre-existing medical conditions, certain age groups, etc. So you can, along with those two options, you can also call some of your local clinics that are already being advertised as having vaccines and see if you can get on that list. Those lists are very deep. They're 150, 200 deep on each location right now. And so that would primarily be for those that are of a certain age group or certain physical need for those vaccines ahead of a large other population. But as soon as we get information from the state about the numbers or being able to provide more of those, we certainly will start to offer that to our students as soon as our resources for that as soon as we can.
Thank you so much. That makes me feel really good about the coming semester. The next question I have is, what happens if my professor gets COVID and it's an in-person class?
So it's me again. The protocols are in place. They're very detailed, and it is a matter of case tracking. So, for example, if you are in a classroom in the Denton campus that has a seating capacity for 150 students or so, and you're a student on the back row of that class and you never really had close contact with your faculty member, then you probably are going to be able to continue on, and that course, of course, would ultimately be put online or have a substitute teacher. If you're in close proximity, we'll know that and we'll be taught to you. Our emergency management team will reach out to you, say, how are you feeling, and try to track that. They may ask you to quarantine for a period of time, but we will work with you no matter what it is. We'll work with you on online course or making those courses up in those interims till you can return. And we've had several of those things occur, both students and faculty last fall that had COVID, and we worked through them, and we're very proud of the way that worked. And then people were able to return to class. We put some online to help them out. So we're going to be flexible. I used this term last semester. We're going to have a lot of grace with each other. Again, I think that's the key, is patience, understanding with each other, but we will help you work through that.
What do you do if you're a person and you get COVID and can't finish school or are possibly hospitalized? What would happen to the course at that point?
Again, our faculty are a very gracious group of people who will work with you. If you are hospitalized, have medical, there are choices for either withdrawal if it's not too late, or there's choices for incompletes in the course to where you can come back and complete that course later on with your faculty member when you are really feeling better. Those are things we don't want you to worry about. Here's the key, and I would say this, and I'm trying not to take too much, but the key is be honest with us. Tell us if you're sick. Don't feel like that's the scarlet letter or that's some terrible thing to have COVID. It's just what it is. So please be honest with us. Tell us, and we will work with you, because we don't want anybody to feel like they can't be honest or can't tell us they're ill. We want you to be very transparent about it. And I promise you this, we'll work diligently to make sure you're not harmed educationally because you're fighting an illness. So just again, what Dean Flucci said earlier: communicate. Let your faculty member know, I'm sick. I need to have some time.
Miss Kaysen, can you let our students know where they can get help with IT during the winter break as well as in the spring?
Sure. The easiest way is probably to email itssupport@nctc.edu. We'll have staff members monitoring that email and perhaps call you back, set up a WebEx or whatever is needed. But I also wanted to let you know that we have a call center from 7:30 in the morning to 7:30 in the evening, Monday through Thursday. We're taking calls 7:30 to noon on Friday and from 8 to 2:30 on Saturday. So feel free to call us if that's easier for you, or the email. Also, if you forget the phone number, which is 940-668-4284, you can go to our main webpage, click on my.nctc, and there's a tab that says Need Help, and that will give you our hours of in-person operation and the email address and the phone numbers. Also, on the main webpage, there is an icon there for one login. As Dean Flucci mentioned, there are instructions there on how to connect, but of course, you're welcome to contact us to assist you and walk you through that.
And many times IT questions and e-learning questions kind of get convoluted, and and so we will do our best to guide you, whether it's a Canvas question and you're talking to an IT person or vice versa. We'll try to best we can to get to you, to the right person to answer those questions.
Bet.
Is NCTC providing any laptops for students in need?
We do still have some laptops available for students. Typically, they would go through our foundation office. There is an application that they would fill out there, and then we can go from there. At this time, we just have the Chromebooks. We don't have any actual Windows laptops, but we're able to use those Chromebooks for any applications that we have at the school.
Also, I would add this, there We're still waiting for information on the federal funds that were associated with the new federal disbursements for COVID. I cannot promise nor guarantee that there'll be monies in there, but there should be some monies that may be able to help us bolster the numbers of technologies that people could borrow that are in need for those technologies. We'll know a lot more about that next week because we're still trying to figure out the nuances of those new federal funds. But that may help us. And if that happens and we're able to do what we hope we can, we'll put the word out that we've got a little more to offer our students at that point.
Awesome, thank you. And about how long is the process to know whether somebody qualifies for a laptop? Since the semester is about to start pretty soon.
I believe it moves pretty quickly. I don't think it takes long at all to complete that application process, and the laptops are ready to go once we know who's qualified for those. The foundation office would be the place to start with that.
Awesome, thank you so much. The next question I have is, I was wondering how to see what books I need for my upcoming semester at NCTC. I cannot find the book list online like I did last semester.
If you will go to the NCTC webpage, and there's a quicker way. If you go to the search bar and put in books and supplies and click that link, the bookstore will come up and you will have a series of questions. And it doesn't matter if you're unsure what campus to choose, it's populated for all of them. So it doesn't matter if you choose the different campus, but you will choose the discipline, the department, and then your course, and then you will say find materials, I think it says, and it'll tell you the name of the book that you are required to have for that course. I want to emphasize to you, though, there are some courses that require a couple of different supplies. So once you get into the course and you look at your syllabi, make sure you look at required materials on there. It's very important that you have some of those supplies to be successful in the class. So they may be a supply that, just didn't get into the bookstore list. So just make sure or communicate with your instructor.
And to add to that, Dean Felicia, I believe the syllabi should be online already for the courses that are offered on my NCTC. If they go to the course search and click on a course, most of them have the course syllabi. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, and that way you could go ahead and see that way as well.
It's a separate syllabus search drop down, so it's not linked to the course. So they do have to go to a separate syllabus drop down. And if you don't see your syllabus linked there, then just know that it will be in Canvas whenever the semester begins.
So for me, there was a charge made to my account of a textbook. This is the first time that I've ever seen it on my account. Would that mean that I just go ask the library or the bookstore for that book, or would I still have to pay for a textbook?
So it's not normal that a charge would be on an account without the student having incurred the charge. So I think probably what I would do is reach out first to the business office to see exactly where that charge originated. Now, if it is a book that is required some particular programs, especially in the health sciences and some of those things, some of those tuition is included. The books are included in the tuition.
We're having
registration.
a student town hall.
And so anyway, so I would reach out. For example, if you're a cosmetology student, your kit comes with the course basically, and you have that fee associated with your kit. If you are in LVN, there may be a course. I know there's some other classes that have started including their books in the course, and that's probably what you're seeing on there. And then if that's the case, yes, you just simply go to the bookstore, present your course, and they should have your name associated with that book.
I believe there are some economics classes that are doing it like that. So those would be the
Yeah.
mainstream classes that people are getting in that aren't in those specific programs that are doing that. So if you do see that charge on you and you're in that economics class, just go to the bookstore, let them know, and then they should be able to give you one of the books.
Okay, sounds good.
And also with accounting, some accounting and business courses, we have Include Ed. And the book is embedded in your Canvas course. And so you will get a code, or when you click on the book in the classroom, it'll automatically populate for you. So it just kind of depends.
Awesome. Thank you. The next question is NCTC limiting the amount of people in one location?
To an extent.
Yeah, they are. We're limiting the number of students. Obviously, within the classrooms, we've limited how many students are able to come to classes in a particular room. So we've limited the cap of those classes. As far as gathering on campuses, yes, we're going to be limiting and monitoring that throughout the whole semester. So we would prefer students not to congregate and gather. If you're walking out of a class and there's 2 of you, and you're leaving the facility, obviously we're not going to say anything. If there's 10 of you hanging out studying or something, we will probably more than likely make sure that you're socially distanced the whole time. So
Thank you so much. Chief Shaw, can you let students know about the campus shield?
I can. I hope y'all can hear me. I'm having a little bit of difficulty here, but hopefully
Yes, we can hear you.
we're rocking and rolling. Awesome. So our campus shield is something that we use, the police department and our security personnel use to help you with your daily life at NCTC. It's an actual app you can download to your smartphone. And I get asked a lot about this. It will ask you for permissions for your location, your contacts, all those sort of things. I only need those when you activate the app in an emergency. I don't care where you're going on the weekend. I don't care what you're doing in the evening. It's only when you're using the app and only in an emergency. So that's the only time. So rest assured, I'm not tracking you or following you, I promise. So the actual app, I have it here right here. It's a pretty neat thing that we use. Lots of different aspects to it. Just some things that we have, anonymous tips. If you see something, say something. You know, that's been going around for a long time. But if you don't want your name attached to it, that's fine too. If you want to give us an anonymous tip, and there's different things that you can tell us about, unsafe conditions, any sort of trip, falling hazard, graffiti, any sort of crime tip. That's where you can leave that anonymously. Some campus resources, what to do in emergencies. If it's probably something you want to read prior to having an emergency, that's just my tip to y'all. Friend watch, that's kind of a neat thing too. Let's say you and a friend are going, or your friend's going on a jog. I don't know why she would do that. That makes me tired. But let's say they do that, and you're supposed to meet up in 20 minutes. So you do this friend watch. And in 20 minutes, if you aren't back together, if she is still gone, it will send you some sort of alert saying, hey, where's my friend? She's not back yet. But also a neat thing. Request a courtesy service. We do vehicle unlocks. We do vehicle battery jumps. We do a lot of other things that aren't just crime related. Most things we do are not crime related. So, and that's pretty much it. I recommend you download it. There's also an emergency slide on there if you have some sort of emergency and you can't get to 911 for whatever reason. That's going to come straight to us as well as one of our neighboring law enforcement agencies. So, and that's about it.
Is this app free for all NCTC students? Or is it like free for everybody?
It's free for everyone. Free for faculty and staff. So when you first get it and download it, it will ask you for some information. You will select North Central Texas College as your institution. You'll select your role as student or staff member, and then you'll just enter some basic information and select a PIN number, and that's it. It's ready to go.
That's really cool. Thank you for letting us know about that.
Oh, you're welcome.
The next question I have is, what are the online LVN Saturday and Sunday hours?
I do believe that they are still finalizing those, and I don't have specifics, I'm very sorry, but the faculty member that you can direct your questions to is Paula Rutherford, and I know that she will respond to questions about the LVN program. So again, that's Paula Rutherford.
Thank you so much. As a reminder for everybody watching, you can email your questions at studentlife@nctc.edu, and we'll happily answer them during our live stream. And if we don't get to it today, maybe we can save them for the next live stream. So please keep that in mind. The next question I have is, how do I get help with tutoring?
Hi, I'm Mary Martinson. I can answer that question. We have free tutoring for all students at NCTC, and it is on the one login that we've mentioned in several other occasions tonight. It's the same location where you would go for your Canvas app. So when you get your login from admissions, that gives you all your login information, you get into one login, you will see an option for on-campus tutoring and online tutoring. Online tutoring is called Upswing, and it is free for all students registered, and we love for students to use it. It's been very popular. We also have a link on our website, our student success website. So if you have any questions, you can submit a request and one of our staff members will contact you directly with any question that you have. And that's also very popular with students. So please use the service, and after each session, I can't say that, you can leave feedback. And so we get that feedback immediately and we can make any changes that are needed. So please use it and let us know if you like it or if you don't like it, and we'll try to help you and make it right.
Thank you so much. That has been another popular question on the NCTC app this past semester, is tutoring options. So thank you for talking about that. Another question is, when will the library be open?
Actually, all of the libraries are open now except for the Flower Mound Library. We do have shortened hours there at Bowie. It's from 8 to 1, Monday through Thursday, and 8 to noon on Friday. Then on Flower Mound, I said it's closed, but Corinth and the Gaines campus libraries are open from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursday, and 8 to noon on Fridays. You do need to realize, though, that we do lock the doors 15 minutes before the closing time, like before 5 or 12, because we're working to make sure that everything stays sanitized, and that's part of the things what we do as in the library staff, make sure that when a student leaves, we sanitize that area so that you can feel comfortable when you come in. And as you also said, there's social distancing, you have the mask, we will take a temperature check when you come to the libraries. And maybe I need to also add more things. That one semester starts, we'll have extended hours. The Bowie campus will have the 8 to 5, 12 to 8 to noon, there, because that's built hours. But the Corinth campus will have on Tuesdays, they'll be open from 9:30 in the morning to 6:30 at night. The Flower Mound campus will be open on Mondays from 9:30 to 6:30. And then the Gainesville campus will be open on extended hours from 8 to 6:30 on Mondays. That also includes the Student Success Center also on the Gainesville campus because they're in the same library building. Then otherwise, on the other days, they will be 8 to 5 and then 8 to noon on Fridays. So the extended hours for Corinth is 9:30 to 6:30 on Tuesdays. Flower Mound from 9:30 to 6:30 on Mondays. Gainesville campus, 8 a.m. to 6:30 on Mondays. You can also, if you need any other questions about the library on it, we have a Ask a Librarian app on a link. So you can get on the link in the library on our webpage, that homepage. They're on the right side of the screen. It'll show Ask a Librarian. Click on that, fill out that form, and submit it to us, and we will get you the answer. It does not matter what the answer is. If it's library related, you can fill it out that way. So feel free to do that if you don't remember all the hours that we had or all of that, or you have any kind of questions about the library, go to our Ask a Librarian link and fill that out and submit it to us, and we'll get back to you. Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you emphasizing the extended hours. Thank you. Miss Riddle, can you tell the first year experience students what to expect within the next week?
Her sound isn't working, but I can help if it's not working. But we have 3 sessions next week for first year experience. It's January 11th at 12 p.m., which is noon, and then January 12th at 2 p.m. and January 13th at 6 p.m. And there will be a live stream where every student that's enrolled in first year experience will be able to meet with one of their success coaches. And Amy Clone, who's the senior director of that area, she does a great job of managing all of that first year experience and staffing those courses with the coaches that are helpful. And Daphne is the director for the career services and our QEP director. And so she coordinates a lot of the career services with first year experience. And so we look forward to helping all the students in first year experience. Matter of fact, a lot of the questions that are coming up tonight, all of these questions are covered in first year experience as well. We go over how to get your online class, how to get information about financial aid, how to communicate with your faculty member. So we really encourage you to meet your success coach next week in one of those live stream sessions. You'll find it very helpful. We've heard from students over the last couple of years that they have found it very beneficial. So please take the time to do that and connect with one of those coaches.
Thank you. And I do want to add that even though most of our courses may be online, you do want to remain respectful to others. Conduct rules apply both in person and virtually. Dr. Del Rio, could you expand a little on that?
Yes, I'd love to. In fact, I don't expect that college students would be rude and obnoxious to their classmates nor their instructors or professors, but yet it does happen. Some students get very frustrated with the information and they take it out on their classmates and or professors. So I just want to remind everybody that if even though you're online, we do have a student code of conduct handbook, and it's located on our website. And using the search engine, I would type in student code of conduct. You can review what is expected of you as a college student, but just keep in mind that we don't have tolerance for rudeness or disrespect to classmates or instructors, and there are penalties and sanctions that we can impose on you, which include, and it may include, suspension. So we want you to take that very serious. And if you have any questions, I'm always available to answer any or anything about the handbook or our policies and procedures. Thanks, Patty.
Anytime. And is there a place where we can possibly report someone that's bullying another student?
Yes, there is. On our website, you can there is that the search engine, and it's called a CARES report, CARES report. You type that in the search engine, and you will come upon a page where it will ask you to report anonymously, so you don't even have to give your name or number out. And that report is reviewed and followed up with the student who you are reporting who's being bullied. And we do this very confidentially. So just rest assured that your information that comes to us won't be spread throughout the college. Only those individuals who need to know about the situation will be contacted.
Thank you so much, Dr. Del Rio. And
I want to add real quick that
go ahead. Sorry.
That if you continue to do some of these acts, it can be considered criminal, and we can also do a criminal investigation along with the internal administrative investigation that Dr. Del Rio will conduct. So 2 investigations can be going on at the same time with very different results. One may land you with some criminal sanctions and one with some administration. So it can go 2 different avenues.
Wow, thank you. That's an excellent point. And I do want to repeat the website to file these reports. It is cares.nctc.edu. The next question I have is, are part-time jobs that students have available again?
So I'll tackle that one. The answer is yes, if it is federal financial aid work study kinds of programs are absolutely there. Our attempt is to begin to open the door for part-time employees, period, beginning in the spring or as we go through the spring. But right now, the college is on a hold pattern for all part-time jobs pretty much, and for sure all full-time unless it's mission critical. Last semester with the lower enrollment was a pretty tough financial decision for us, but keep your eye out on our HR website. You can go there at any time and look at both full and part-time jobs. Ask student service folks as you run into them, if you're in there, hey, is there anything available part-time? Because we are trying to begin to reinstall those positions, and also there are plenty and opportunities for work study for sure.
Thank you. And students can see these jobs on the NCTC HR website?
You can.
Yes.
Generic part-time positions are also posted along with our full-time positions on our HR website. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll tack on to that if you can hear me now. Is my sound working?
It's working.
Okay, thank you. So with career services, we have an online job board called Career Lion that we utilize the Handshake platform. And there's close to 500 jobs posted right now in our local area. And then, we extend out past that as well because we know that students, may be moving or in transition. So we are connected with thousands of employers and lots of jobs. You can also look for internships through there. There is a link on our career services webpage, but you can call us or email us and we can get you hooked up with that. If you are a current student, you have really easy access just with your student email. You just have to activate that account and you're in there, and it can connect you with jobs and employers. Lots of different career events. Have been having a lot of IT sorts of career events from different employers, and so those are from all over. So there's a lot of different opportunities there. That's also the platform that will have job fairs and things like that. So if a student is in need of a job, we are here to help them. So just give us a call or an email at careerservices@nctc.edu. Thank you.
Thank you. I know a lot of people are looking for jobs right now. It's been really hard for some of our students. The next question I have is, will the cafeteria in Gainesville be open to all students coming back to campus?
The answer is yes. The cafeteria is open. It is right now serving only our dorm students as they're moving in. Of course, it's before classes begin. But then starting the week of the 19th, you'll be able to access food through that The cafeteria, it looks a little different. The cafeteria has been stretched out. Tables are further separate. You can only seat 2 per table. There's plexiglass if you choose to sit there, but it's really handy too just to grab and go your meal. And so, yes, that will be open. And then on another note, it opens up to our staff and faculty. We'll let them be able to begin to access it in like early February. We're just trying to keep the load where our students are met first and make sure that the cafeteria staff are feeling comfortable with how we deliver their food. But yes, the cafeteria will be open.
Thank you. The next question is NSLS a real honor society?
I'll take that one. And yes, NSLS is a real honor society. It stands for National Society of Leadership and Success. And we classify that as a leadership honor society. It's by invitation only for NCTC students who have achieved a certain GPA and has proven leadership abilities in their classroom and in their community. All of our meetings are virtual. And we encourage you, if you've been invited, to sign up for membership. We really have a great time. And I'm here to answer any more questions you might have, maybe not in this venue, but in another. So be sure to email me at rdelrio@nctc.edu.
Thank you so much. And yes, NSLS is 100% worth it. I love it.
Thanks, Patty.
The next question is, will we have a spring break this semester?
Yes.
You can find the academic calendar on the website. If you'll scroll to the very bottom of the website, you can see the academic calendar posted, and it has the spring break dates there posted.
And here's the difference, just for everybody to understand. Community college students are commuter by nature. They stay at home, or 90% of our students live, work, and do everything in the community in which they go to college. That's different than a university setting where you have a large international population. You have a lot of students that have traveled a long distance. So yes, the answer is we are having spring break because we don't believe that's any less safe than students going home on the weekends or students just going home each day. But you may see our university partners not have spring break. Yes, ma'am, we are. And no, I know some staff would like it to be 4 weeks, but that's not even a possibility for either our students or our staff. I'm sorry.
Sounds good. I was getting a little worried. Next question is, when will COVID-19 restrictions on gatherings decrease over time?
Not anytime soon. The challenge is the number of cases, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I am hoping, I am prayerful, I am hopeful that by the return past spring break, we see vaccination more widely available, that we see a downturn in the number of cases. But in the near future, group gathering, social event things are still going to be very dangerous scenarios for students. We have evidence of organizational groups getting together, families getting together, and it's making it difficult in the numbers of cases we're seeing and in the treatment thereof. So hold on, lights at the end of the tunnel. The road is getting the road is better ahead of us, but give us some time. I think it's going to take the whole nation's under that same conversation. That's not NCTC. That's every community college. That's every university. That's every family, every social unit on earth right now facing that. But as soon as we are able to get together, trust me, we'll want to get together.
Sounds good. Thank you. Mr. Sullivan, our Director of Marketing and Public Relations, can you let students know about how they can share their story?
Sure, and it's actually a really exciting part of the work that we do here. We recognized quite some time ago that really what the fabric that makes up NCTC is our stories. And that ranges from someone who it's their first time in college, their first generation student, to someone who has decided that they needed a change in their life and they needed something better. And that can be, a better life, better pay, a new house, whatever they needed, that they could find it here, because we really feel like it is better here and it's a better school. So when you can share your story about the impact that NCTC has had on you, that helps other people understand that they too can make a difference in their world by being here and learning. So we've set up a part of our website, and it's called Lion Tales, and you can go there anytime and submit just in writing a little bit of a story that about your world and how things have changed. You can submit a video, a selfie video. You can submit a selfie pic to go along with your story, and it's just very, very simple to do. And then what we do is we look at all of those, and then we help others understand how your story has changed you and how it's changed the institution as well, and how they can get that when they're here. So we highly, highly encourage this. And this spring for graduation, we'll also have something called gratitude videos, which is going to be an opportunity for everybody to get on there for about 30 seconds and thank the people who helped them get through this journey at NCTC to graduation. It can be your parents, it could be your Uncle Phil, it could be anybody, but you can spend that quick little moment, and then we'll actually play those before the graduation ceremony, so everybody can share in your story and the thanks that you want to give. So we look at this as a way to really kind of just create a little bit more commonality, create a little bit of fun, and create an inspiration for those folks who would be thinking about either going back to school or considering NCTC. You can do it very simply by going to liontales.nctc.edu, and the instructions are all there, and you can even see some sample stories if you kind of want to have a feel for the ones that have come before. So we highly, highly encourage it. It's a real treat for us each and every day to see what's happening in the lives of the people who are here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sullivan, for mentioning that. I think the idea of the gratitude videos is really interesting, and I'm excited to look forward or to see those for the spring 2021 graduation. The last question of the night is, will transportation be available for the Corinth and Flower Mound campuses?
The DCTA transportation will not yet be available. We are still in a process of looking at that partnership. We really appreciate DCTA. Now, that being said, you can still catch the train. You can still use public transportation to campuses. It's just that our buses are not going to be able to run quite yet. Part of that has to do with the protocols now that are required to run public transportation, the expense of cleaning those, etc. But we will be working this spring to reinstate public transportation. But here's the deal: if you need help, reach out. Again, there are options we have through some other programs that can help you if you are having transportation issues. Don't let that stop you from coming to college. We can find ways of helping you get to campus.
Thank you so much. That concludes all of our questions. On behalf of our student body, Student Government Association would like to thank you all for being part of our student Q&A forum. We appreciate you taking time to answer our questions.
Thanks, everybody.